every year in the draft, you find players on film that you just write down, this guy is going to be good. And Ohio State wide receiver Emeka Egbuka is one of those players in the 2025 NFL Draft, combining impressive route running chops, the ability to find space against zone coverage, his work at the catch point, and his overall reliability as a receiver. It's easy to see why Emeka Egbuka is going to translate well to the league. And when you look at the stats for Egbuka, right, 2 seasons over 1,000 yards with 10 touchdowns. He's first in Ohio State history in receptions. He's second in Ohio State history in receiving yards. And over his career, 2.61 yards per route run. He hung out in the slot quite a bit for Ohio State. He caught 25 of 46 contested targets and had 6.6 yards after the catch per reception. And when you look at how Egbuka stacks up against other slot wide receiver prospects over the last few years, Egbuka stands up pretty well overall, right? When you look at the work, he has yards per route run against man and zone coverage, right? His yards after the catch per reception stack up pretty well against guys like fellow 2025 prospect Luther Burden, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jaden Reed, Khalil Shakir, right? Egbuka's metrics are really, really good. So now let's take a look at the film to see what makes Egbuka such an impressive receiver prospect. All right, so when it comes to Emeka Egbuka, you know, what we see on film, I think really you see all the elements that make him a fantastic route runner and why that's going to translate at the next level. So on these first few, you see the ability to attack leverage. And here, what's going to happen against Michigan is defenders got inside position, right? And what Egbuka is going to do is threaten vertically enough to move him a little bit and then work through contact in the stem to win on this in-breaker over the middle, right? Use that ability to kind of push off at the top of the route, but attack leverage really well. And you're going to get that against Michigan State here from the number 3, right? Pressing, you know, with good body language to treat everything as a vertical route to the middle of the field. Going to move this defender a little bit, and you're going to get an easy win on an outbreaking route, right? He's getting defenders to commit, and that's what's important, right? So here Penn State does kind of run a little bit of a trap coverage where the corner's actually going to bump this outside receiver and sit down, but Egbuka wins this quick out because of how much he threatens that initial leverage there, gets the defender to quickly commit to the inside, and it's a free access throw as long as the quarterback gets the ball out on time. And what else do we see? How efficient Egbuka is on these speed cuts on outbreakers, right? You get a lot of that from him, right? Here again from the number 3, but a really efficient break. And again, against zone coverage for sure, but when you stay tight to the break like that, you give the quarterback more margin for error, more time to make that throw because you've created that separation, right? And so here I think is a really nice example of route depth against kind of more zone coverage here, where Egbuka does a great job of getting just behind, you know, kind of this defender that's focused on the receiver underneath. And again, a good speed cut on an outbreaker and creates a window for himself. Now, in breaking routes, Egbuka really thrives here because he does a great job of essentially working to stack on these, especially on these kind of intermediate crossers, right, where the defender thinks he's going vertical basically because he has position to, and he fights through the stem really, really well here. But you see this body position right here of it looks like it's going to be a vertical route, and he's got him in the hip pocket, right, but he snaps off the in-breaking route so efficiently, and he's wide open on a lot of these. Once again, here, right, a little bit of a jab step, you saw it, right? A little bit of that jab step, and then a little bit of kind of threat to run vertical, but then you snap it off. And again, just dynamite on these in-breaking routes where, yeah, it's just tough to hang against him, right? Here, good job working through kind of a little bit of contact, and we're in and out of that break extremely, extremely fast. And when you see him in and out of that break like this, it reminds me of Vlad McConkey when he did it last year, right? In and out in 3 steps, no problem on stuff like that. Now here against Georgia, what he does really well is on this crosser, he's going to show a little bit of, see that shoulder shimmy right there? It's very brief, but it does enough against the defender here to basically say, okay, well, that pressure step that kind of gets him to fall off more to the vertical route it gets him to stumble a little bit, and just that little bit of extra work, right, and detail as a route runner gives him that ability to create separation. Here in a bunch look against Notre Dame, just again, be physical at the top of your route and create some space for yourself again on a deep crosser. Here against Tennessee, right, lean against contact in the stems, snap the route off, and you have some separation there. Give yourself, he's giving the quarterback just immense windows to make throws because he's that good as a route runner. Here against Michigan, once you get past the initial contact from this defender, threaten vertically, snap that route off really, really efficiently in an on-target throw, and you've got a big play there. So he definitely shows that. Again, here against Nebraska, look at how quickly we're in and out of that break. I mean, it was instant. 1, 2, 3, and we're into that break. So you can see it on the perimeter as well. Here against Notre Dame, national championship game, shuffle release into the slant, create separation pretty easily. And so what else can you get from Egbuka, right? Not just the in and out breaking routes. He can thrive on the vertical plane, right? Run this hitch route and take advantage a little bit after the catch because you've given yourself a ton of space. Here against Notre Dame, right, you're going to get release, snap back inside stem, and stack, right? He works through contact really, really well, and I think that should give, folks who might think he's a slot-only player a little bit of hope that you could see him play some Z as well at the NFL level. And here, good job stacking immediately. Throw that little bit of rocker step in there to win the corner route. Really, really nice. And you do get some good stuff in terms of that's incredibly good footwork on this comeback route, right? We're dropping the weight here really nicely through the break point and accelerating out of that with the plant foot. Like comeback routes, and especially off a cheat motion, this is going to be very difficult, but he gets into the blind spot here. Corner is looking more at the QB, right, rather than the receiver. So he's got him, fully turned running vertical, and then you just snap that route off very, very easily. And here again against Texas, Barron's got, kind of his back turned. Easy coming back there with that comeback route. So you definitely see that. And here from the slot, right, it's very subtle, but another instance of quickly attacking leverage here against this corner, right? Look how quickly, right? We're inside stem on the release, right? You get that corner to move, and now you've won the slot fade. So easy for him. So easy for him. Again, another slot fade where he has to work through contact like he does there. And again, a nice catch, shielding from defenders at the catch point, late hands. That's something you definitely see from him as well. And here, really nice job again of understanding what his route depth needs to be here. Right on the back of the hook defender and find space super easily. So you get that as well from Egbuka, which is really, really nice. So here, what do you see at the catch point? Again, we're running kind of a deep crosser. What do you see? He works down the line. Look at that. Working down the line from where he was on that crosser to make sure that the catch point is uncontested, right? And that's what good receivers can do, right? They say, yeah, I can make plays in contested spots, but also I'm going to remove that possibility. So here, hitch route, come back to the ball. Really, really nice there. And again, you see him on the seam route, catch the ball, shield from contact, right? Don't let the defender be able to have any chance of knocking that ball out. Here we kind of run almost a wheel route, late hands on this one. Really, really nice against Iowa, and then happens to do it against Iowa again here on kind of an out and up where doesn't really flash the hands right when he tracks the ball until it's pretty much too late for the defender. And here, right, we're running kind of this sort of speed out again. And the throw's a little off, right? This should be more out here. Throw gets, a little further into the end zone. Well, we'll just make a little quick adjustment there and catch the ball through contact. Now, Egbuka does do some work after the catch, right? It's not his strong suit, but he can, because, they've given him touches as a running back, which we'll get to here in a second. But He has that ability kind of as a ball carrier to kind of see the field well, right, and can make the occasional defender miss. Here, I think, is a really nice job of, like, as the ball arrives, right, we're planting our feet and we're ready to attack, right? That catch to attack transition from receiver to ball carrier is there. And here you go, right? He gets some carries and he shows the vision and is tough as a runner. That's a good stiff arm there against Notre Dame. Another backfield carry where, you know, he does a good job. Some balance there, can make guys miss. So that is certainly there with Egbuka as well. If you kind of want to make him a part of your gadget game a little bit, he can do that. And as a blocker, he's not the best, but he definitely can compete. And he's shown reps where there obviously is on the screen. He does a nice job and also pinning the linebacker here against Oregon. So he does show you something as a blocker. So Emeka Egbuka, it's all there, right? The route running chops against tighter coverage, against zone, right? The ability to attack leverage quickly and open up space for yourself, fighting through contact, in breakers, out breakers, vertical plane stuff. It's all there. Adjusting to the ball, late hands at the catch point. He has all the makings of a quality wide receiver. Is he going to be a number one in your offense? Unless you have kind of the Amon-Ra St. Brown situation set up in Detroit, or maybe the kind of the Cooper Kupp role in LA, I don't think he's necessarily going to be a one. However, he can be a very, very high-end wide receiver too in any offense, right? If you're Houston and you're looking at it, right, that's a great example. So like Emeka Egbuka can be a very quality to potentially elite wide receiver too in the NFL because he has the well-rounded and reliable skill set for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Emeka Egbuka. If you did, throw a like down there. Subscribe if you're new. Plenty more draft content on the way very, very soon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Farewell.